So there I was, standing in the middle of our living room, my phone connected to the big screen TV over the fireplace. It was supposed to be a surprise for my husband, Liam, for our 5th anniversary. A slideshow of our favorite memories. But the final slide, the one that was currently burning itself onto the retinas of about 30 of our closest friends and family, wasn't a picture of us hiking or on vacation. It was a screenshot. A screenshot of a text message from Liam's best man, his brother Mark. The text was sent to me just an hour before the party. And it read, clear as day in 72-point font, "He's finally starting to believe you're cheating. Just a little more pushing and he'll leave you. Then you and I can finally be together, like we're meant to be. I'll make you happier than he ever could." The music died. Someone gasped. I could feel every single pair of eyes in that room shift from the screen to Mark's chalk-white face, then to Liam, whose expression was a terrifying mixture of confusion and dawning horror. And then, finally, to me. I just took a slow sip of my champagne, lowered my phone, and said, "So, does anyone have any questions?" Yeah, let me tell you how this whole nightmare started. It all began, as most things do, with me being way too nice and way too trusting. Liam and I had a great marriage. I mean, not perfect, nobody's perfect, but we were solid. We communicated, we made each other laugh. We were genuinely best friends who also happened to be in love. The only, and I mean the only, consistent point of friction in our 5 years together had a name: Mark. Mark was Liam's childhood best friend. They were the kind of friends who had a whole secret language of inside jokes and movie quotes. And for the most part, I was fine with it. I get it. Bromance is a real thing. But from the very beginning, something about Mark just set my teeth on edge. It was nothing I could really put my finger on at first. Just a vibe. He had this way of looking at me when Liam wasn't in the room, not creepy, but calculating. Like he was solving a math problem in his head. He'd make these little jokes that were always just a little too personal. "Wow, Sarah, you really have Liam trained, huh? He hasn't been this whipped since his mom made him wear that terrible sweater in 3rd grade. Har har." So funny. Liam would just laugh and punch him on the shoulder. "Oh, that's just Mark." That phrase, "that's just Mark," would become the soundtrack to my slow descent into madness. The first real crack in the foundation appeared about a year ago. Liam and I had been planning a weekend getaway for my birthday. It was a huge deal for us. We hadn't had a proper vacation in ages. Liam had booked this amazing little cabin by a lake. I'd taken time off work. We were all set. 2 days before we were supposed to leave, Mark calls Liam in a total panic. His girlfriend had just dumped him. He was an emotional wreck. He needed his best friend. I was sympathetic, I really was. I told Liam, of course, go see him tonight, make sure he's okay. We can pack tomorrow. Liam went over to Mark's place and didn't come home until 3 in the morning, completely drunk. The next day, he was so hungover he couldn't even think about packing. He just kept groaning about how devastated Mark was. Our trip, my birthday trip, got canceled. I was furious. Not just that it was canceled, but how it was canceled. I said to Liam, "I'm sorry his girlfriend broke up with him, but did he have to get you blackout drunk the night before our vacation?" And Liam, bless his naive heart, looked at me with genuine confusion and said, "Babe, he was hurting." What was I supposed to do? He needed me. And the kicker? I found out a week later from a mutual friend that Mark's girlfriend hadn't dumped him. He had dumped her. Like, 2 weeks before his emergency phone call. When I confronted Liam with this, he just sighed and said, "Look, I'm sure he was still upset. Breakups are messy. You know how dramatic Mark is." It was the first time I realized that Liam didn't just have a blind spot for Mark, he had a total solar eclipse. That was the inciting incident. The first brick he threw at our marriage. After that, the attacks became more frequent and a lot more personal. It started with small lies, little seeds of doubt. We were supposed to go to a dinner party at my boss's house, a really important one for a promotion I was up for. An hour before we were supposed to leave, Mark shows up at our door unannounced, holding a 6-pack. Surprise. Guys' night, he'd yelled. Liam looked at me, all apologetic. I said, through gritted teeth, "Liam, we have the dinner. I told you about it a month ago." Liam turned to Mark and said, "Dude, we can't tonight. We have that thing with Sarah's boss." Mark's face fell in this really theatrical way. "Oh. Oh man. I. I thought you said that was next week." He looked at me with these big, innocent eyes. "Sarah, I'm so sorry. I must have gotten the dates mixed up when Liam told me. My bad." The thing is, Liam had never told him about it. I handled our social calendar. Mark had seen the invitation on our fridge the week before when he came over. He knew exactly when it was. He was just planting this little idea in Liam's head that I wasn't communicating with him, that I was keeping him out of the loop. Liam spent the whole car ride to the dinner saying things like, "You should probably tell me about these things more directly, so I don't get confused." My blood was boiling. I felt like I was going crazy. The next escalation was way worse. I work from home as a graphic designer, and I had this massive project for a new client. It was worth a huge amount of money and could basically set me up for the rest of the year. I was on the final draft, hours away from the deadline, when Liam and Mark came back from the gym. They were laughing and joking, and Mark, holding a huge, dripping water bottle, tripped right next to my desk. Water went everywhere. All over my laptop, my external hard drive, my Wacom tablet. Everything. There was a fizzing sound, and my screen went black. A whole year's worth of work, gone. Just like that. I just stared at it. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I was in shock. Mark was a flurry of apologies. "Oh my God, Sarah, I am so sorry. I'm such a klutz. My foot just caught on the rug." "Oh man, Liam, I'm so sorry." Liam, of course, rushed to his side. "It's okay, man. It was an accident. Don't worry about it." He looked at me and said, "Babe, it's all right. We'll get it fixed." It wasn't all right. It wasn't an accident. Our rug was practically glued to the floor. You couldn't trip on it if you tried. He had done it on purpose. I lost the client. I lost months of income. And I had to listen to my husband defend the man who did it, day after day. You can't be mad at him forever, Sarah. He feels terrible about it. At that moment, it wasn't even anger I felt. It was this cold, hollow feeling in my chest. I realized Mark wasn't just trying to annoy me. He was actively trying to sabotage my life. My career, my marriage, everything. But the real breaking point, the straw that didn't just break the camel's back but pulverized it into dust, came about 6 months ago. The big one. The cheating accusation. I had started going to a pottery class on Tuesday nights. It was my one thing, my escape from the stress of rebuilding my business and from the low-level anxiety of having Mark constantly orbiting my life. It was just me, some clay, and a bunch of lovely middle-aged women. Totally harmless. One Tuesday, I came home, still buzzing from finally making a bowl that didn't look like a collapsed lung, to find Liam sitting in the dark. He had this look on his face I'd never seen before. It was stony and cold and full of pain. "Where were you?" he asked. His voice was flat. "Pottery class. Same place I am every Tuesday. I brought home my new bowl, wanna see?" I said, trying to keep things light. "Don't lie to me, Sarah." My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" "I'm not lying. Mark saw you," he said, his voice cracking. "He saw you downtown, getting out of a car, with some guy. He said you kissed him." I just stared at him. It was so absurd, so completely out of left field, that I almost laughed. But then I saw the genuine agony in his eyes. He believed it. He actually believed it. Liam. That's insane. I was at my class in the community center, which is nowhere near downtown. Ask anyone there. Call my instructor. There was no guy, there was no car, there was no kiss. My voice was shaking. I was so angry, not just at Mark for the monstrous lie, but at Liam for letting the poison in. Mark wouldn't lie to me about something like this, he yelled, standing up. He's my best friend. Why would he make that up? "I don't know, Liam. Why don't you ask him?" I screamed back. We had the worst fight of our marriage. He slept on the couch. For the next 2 weeks, we were like ghosts in our own house. He was cold and distant. He was questioning everything, our whole history. And I was just broken. I felt like I was on trial for a crime I didn't commit, and my own husband was the prosecutor. All because of Mark. And that's when the strangest thing happened. Mark, the architect of my misery, suddenly became my biggest supporter. It started with a text. Asterisk, hey, I heard about the fight. I'm so sorry you guys are going through this. Asterisk. I didn't respond. I wanted to throw my phone against the wall. Then another one came the next day. Asterisk, Liam's being a real jerk. He's not thinking straight. I tried to talk to him, but he's just so stubborn. You don't deserve this. Asterisk. This was new. I was confused. Was this some kind of reverse psychology? He kept it up. He'd text me every day. He'd ask how I was doing. He'd tell me I was strong, that I was a wonderful person, that Liam was a fool for not seeing it. He was positioning himself as the one person who was on my side. He was telling me everything I so desperately wanted to hear from my own husband. I was vulnerable and I was exhausted. A tiny, stupid part of me started to wonder if maybe I had misjudged him. Maybe he really did make a mistake, saw someone who looked like me, and now he felt guilty and was trying to fix it. He was so charming, so seemingly sincere. He'd say things like, I just hate seeing two people I care about so much in pain. I feel like it's my fault. My friends warned me. Sarah, this guy is a snake. Don't talk to him. But I was so lonely in my own home, and he was offering this lifeline. It was messed up, I know. The final, clarifying moment came about a month into this weird friendship. I was having a particularly bad day. Liam had brought up the cheating again, and I just locked myself in the bedroom and cried for an hour. I texted Mark, just venting, saying, I don't know if we can fix this. His reply came almost instantly. Asterisk, maybe it's not meant to be fixed. Liam never appreciated you, not really. You deserve someone who sees how amazing you are from the start. Someone who would never doubt you, asterisk. I stared at the text. My blood ran cold. It wasn't the words themselves, it was the tone. The implication. It was a move. A full-on, romantic, predatory move. And suddenly, everything clicked into place. The canceled vacation. The spilled water. The little lies. The big lie. The sudden friendship. It wasn't random chaos. It was a methodical, patient, sociopathic plan. He wasn't trying to just break us up. He was trying to break us up so he could take Liam's place. The hollow feeling in my chest was gone. It was replaced by a rage so pure and so hot it felt like it could power a city. He didn't just try to ruin my marriage. He tried to ruin me. He preyed on my vulnerability. He used my pain, all for his own sick game. Okay, you psycho. You want to play? Let's play. I knew I couldn't just tell Liam. He was still too far under Mark's spell. A denial from Mark would be enough for Liam to doubt me all over again. I needed proof. Hard, undeniable, humiliating proof. So, I started playing along. I let Mark think his little seduction was working. I texted back, maybe you're right. His response was immediate, practically vibrating with excitement. Asterisk, I know I am. I've always thought you were incredible, Sarah. Liam is an idiot. Asterisk. I told him I was thinking of leaving Liam for good. I could feel his glee through the phone screen. We started texting more. I was careful, always playing the wounded, confused wife, slowly coming around to his way of thinking. I saved every single text. Every manipulative, slimy, self-serving word. I told him I needed to see him, to talk in person. We met for coffee. I wore a small recording device in my purse. I let him hold my hand. I let him tell me all the ways he would be a better man for me than Liam ever was. I just don't get it, I said, faking a teary voice. Why would you tell him you saw me with someone else if you had feelings for me? You almost destroyed everything. And then he said it. The money shot. He leaned in, his voice low and conspiratorial. Sarah, don't you see? I had to. He would never have let you go otherwise. He didn't deserve you. I had to show him that to make him push you away. I did it for us. I got it. I got it all on tape. I went home, my heart pounding with a mixture of disgust and triumph. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place a week later, when Liam, mired in guilt and misery, suggested we renew our vows. He wanted to throw a big party for our 5th anniversary to show everyone we were still strong. Oh, it was too perfect. That's a wonderful idea, honey, I said, giving him a kiss. And you have to make sure Mark is there. As your best man. It wouldn't be the same without him. Which brings us back to the party. The living room was packed. My parents were there, Liam's parents, all our college friends. Mark was walking around like he owned the place, giving me these little secret smiles when Liam wasn't looking, like we were co-conspirators in some grand romantic plot. He had no idea he was the guest of honor at his own execution. Liam made a beautiful, heartfelt speech about how much he loved me and how sorry he was for doubting me. It was actually very sweet. Then it was my turn. "Thank you, sweetie," I said, getting up and taking the portable mic. "I love you too. And you're right, the last few months have been tough. But they've also been clarifying." So, instead of a speech, I put together a little slideshow of our journey. I clicked my phone. The TV lit up. The first few photos were normal. Us on our wedding day, on our honeymoon, with our dog. Everyone was smiling, saying, "Ah." Then the pictures started getting more recent. Pictures of my destroyed laptop. A picture of me sitting alone on my birthday. The mood in the room shifted. People were confused. Liam looked at me, a question in his eyes. I kept clicking. The next slide was a screenshot of Mark's first text to me. "I'm so sorry you guys are going through this." Then the next one. And the next. I showed them his entire campaign. The "Liam is a fool" texts. The "You deserve someone better" texts. The whole room was dead silent. People were reading, their eyes wide. And then, I played the audio from the coffee shop. His voice, slick and confident, filled the room. "He didn't deserve you. I had to show him that to make him push you away. I did it for us." You could have heard a pin drop. Mark looked like he had been struck by lightning. His mouth was open. His face was the color of spoiled milk. Liam was staring at the screen, then at Mark, then back at the screen. The cogs were turning, finally. Every lie, every accident, every moment of doubt Mark had ever created, it was all snapping into place in his head. I saw his face shift from utter confusion to a look of such profound betrayal and rage that it actually scared me. And for the grand finale, I clicked to the last slide. The screenshot of the text he had sent me just an hour before. Asterisk, "He's finally starting to believe you're cheating. Just a little more pushing and he'll leave you. Then you and I can finally be together." Asterisk. That's when I delivered my line. So, does anyone have any questions? What followed was pure chaos. Liam just flew at Mark. He didn't even say anything, he just let out this guttural roar and shoved him backward. Mark stumbled over the coffee table, sending drinks and appetizers flying. Liam's dad and my brother had to physically pull Liam off of him. Mark was sputtering. "It's not what it looks like. She's twisting things. She came onto me." And that's when Liam's mom, a sweet, quiet woman who I'd never heard raise her voice, walked right up to Mark and said, in a voice like ice, "Get out of this house. Now." He scrambled out of there like the rat he was. The party, obviously, was over. The aftermath was messy. Liam was a wreck. For days, he couldn't even look at me. Not because he was angry at me, but because he was so consumed by shame and guilt. He had let his best friend, his brother, systematically dismantle our marriage and torture his wife, and he had not only allowed it, he'd helped him. We started therapy, both individually and together. It was hard. There was a lot of trust to rebuild. It's one thing to forgive your husband for being a fool. It's another to forget the pain of him believing a lie over you. But we're working on it. He's doing the work. He's finally seeing Mark for the manipulative monster he always was. As for Mark, his life imploded. Liam sent an email to our entire circle of friends with the audio clip and all the screenshots attached. The subject line was simply, "This is who Mark is." He lost everyone. No one would speak to him. His reputation was completely destroyed. I heard from a friend of a friend that he had to move to another state just to get away from it all. Good riddance. So yeah, that's how I blew up a 20-year friendship with a PowerPoint presentation at my own anniversary party. It was dramatic, it was crazy, but it was the only way to expose the truth and save my marriage from a psycho who was hiding in plain sight.